Hello, this is Jean Prinzivalli, licensed psychotherapist in Los Angeles. This is my channel on self-awareness and building self-esteem and a healthy relationship with yourself. Today I wanted to talk about limitations and expectations that we have on ourselves. So let me give you an example using my own personal life. So I have a dog whom I love very, very much. However, my personality is more of a cat owner, but this was an unexpected event that occurred, and I, of course, fell in love with him and was going to take him in. The issues that I ran into with having a dog were the fact that I don't really like going out and taking walks. I don't like being 24/7 with any particular animal or human or anything, and dogs follow you around when you're going from room to room. They want to be with you 24/7. They want to go out on excursions, and that was a big challenge for me. A big challenge that created a lot of insecurity and guilt for me because I wanted to be a good parent. He didn't necessarily choose to be lost and have no home, right? Or maybe he did. But, I want to give him a good life, and I was really struggling with it because I don't like walks, I don't like playing games with animals, and, so the guilt that I ran into was specifically the fact that I felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job. I felt like I wasn't providing him with the life that I decided that he deserved, right? And I think a lot of people run into these issues, whether it's with their animal or whether it's with their child or whether it's with their relationship. So that's why I'm using this as an example. So what happened is I realized that I just was not the kind of person who is going to be able to bring him on 3, 4, 5 walks a day, or bring him hiking a couple times a week, or just sit at the park and play together. Like, I realized I wasn't going to be that kind of owner. And so instead of sitting around and thinking maybe I should get rid of him, maybe I should get a better, owner for him, because at the end of the day, he has a great life. He has access to a backyard, so I don't have to worry about him not getting out enough to pee or get fresh air. He has 24/7 access to that. I leave out food, I leave out water, so he has company at the house with the pets I have. So when I looked at the bigger picture, and we do have a good relationship, we enjoy each other's company. Yes, I am talking about my dog. He looks forward to seeing me. But I needed to do something to get rid of my guilt, to get rid of me feeling like I'm not doing a good enough job because I have limitations as being a dog owner. So I realized that every human being has limitations in all forms. We can only do so much. That doesn't mean we're a bad person. It means that we have limitations and we work around those limitations. So what do I do? A person who doesn't have the time or energy or desire to do certain things that a dog wants, I make sure he still gets that. He still gets his doggy attention. He still gets his play dates. He still goes out on excursions. They're just not always with me. I have friends, I have people that I hired, I bring him places that can all provide him with all of those different things that he likes to do, so he's not bored, so he's not understimulated, which is ultimately healthy for him. So being a good doggy parent is about me knowing my limitations and then working around them. That is how we apply it to any area of our life. That is just meaning that you're not going to be able to be the perfect best friend. You're not going to be able to be the perfect employee or the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. There's no such thing as perfection. And you can strive to be something or do things way far outside of what is really normal for you or natural or just past your limits is what it comes down to. But instead, if we can really acknowledge where our limitations are and what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, then we can work with that a lot better because we're being honest about ourselves, and then we can figure out how we want to handle it, right? So if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who is very affectionate and you appreciate affection, but constantly walking past them and just touching them on the shoulder or consistently hugging them or being around them physically 24/7 or as much as possible, it's just not natural for you, not normal for you, it's not needed, and you don't even desire it. But it doesn't mean that you don't love your partner. It doesn't mean that you don't want to be affectionate with them. It just means that you have a different, a different level of desire in that area. So, yes, you can try to be more affectionate a little bit more often, but at the same time, you have to be realistic, because what will usually end up happening in a relationship is you will try consistently to make this adjustment, and then you'll end up falling back into what we call old habits, which sometimes are not old habits. Sometimes they're just the way we are, and we're trying to be something different. I put it in air quotes because there are things that are actual bad habits, such as us beating ourselves up for not being okay with the fact that we're not that affectionate. That's the bad habit. The bad habit is not being affectionate. It's not acknowledging that you're not affectionate and not being okay with it and beating yourself up that you're not doing a good enough job in your relationship. Right? So now, how can you resolve something like that, looking at my example of my dog? I mean, I suppose people are really affectionate even if they're not in relationships. So two best friends, same gender, whatever, or family members, some people are just naturally really affectionate. So, to make the relationship work, knowing that you're not really affectionate, perhaps a solution in a middle ground for the two of you would be that, your partner will be able to have her friends come over, and if you walk in the door and see her and her best female friends, snuggling on the couch, that you don't automatically get jealous and think that she's cheating on you. No, you recognize that, she's doing what she needs to take care of her needs, right? Not expecting you to do all of it, because we can't do it all. So that's a silly example, probably. That's, some people do that, but that's probably not as much in the norm to solve that compromise as maybe her going to get massage more often, if she ever gets massage, or going to do things where, she will be closer to other humans. And that's something you and that person, since both of you are kind of imaginary right now. I'm just providing you an example of why it's really important for you to acknowledge your limitations and set boundaries around them. Because if you don't, what ends up happening is you try to make the other person happy, and then you don't succeed because you can't stick with the change, and you beat yourself up internally for it. So that was exactly what I was doing with my dog, until I realized, there are ways to resolve this. There are ways to make everyone in this situation happy and not me beat myself up. And you know what? I'm very satisfied. My dog is very satisfied. I choose to believe. Based on his tail wagging, I've decided that means he's happy. He has amazing connections with other people who love him just as much as I do. So it's amazing. And so when you can acknowledge your limitations, you work around them and you don't beat yourself up. So that's one way to build healthy self-esteem and build a healthy relationship with yourself, because it's listening, acknowledging, and supporting yourself and trusting yourself enough to know that it's okay to say no. It's okay that you're different than what someone expects of you, and that you're not going to be able to become something different. And I don't think we're honest enough about that. And then I know that there are also issues with our partners, like basically begging us to become that. But unfortunately, we are what we are. And the more and sooner you embrace it, the sooner you're going to be able to find people around you that embrace you the way you are already. So, okay, I hope that made sense on limitations and expectations and building self-esteem, and gave you some insight on ways to do that, or ways to look at it to make some adjustments in your life. Okay, tune in next time. If you have any questions or want more information, you can go to my website at selfawareness therapy.com. Take care. Bye.